I use the Canon EOS T3i. It's got an articulated screen. It's got more options on the video. You can put it in full manual mode, so you can pick the shutter speed and the aperture and the ISO. And of course I use the electrophysics astroscope in the EOS mount. It has the image intensifier tube in it, and it's the Sigma EX 15 millimeter fisheye. Excellent combo. So I use ISO 800, as I mentioned, and then 1/30th of a second at f2.8. It was adequate. I think it was adequate. I was able to catch the stars around the Big Dipper and some starlings flitting by. Of course, it was on a tripod. The articulated screen helps a lot, because you can point the camera in one direction and tilt the screen to make it easier for you. It does capture sound, but since I'm using a time lapse, I ran this through a time lapse program, and I compressed an hour and 20 minutes into 5 minutes or something crazy like that. So in this way we could see exactly what the frequency and periodicity of these starlinks are. Now starlinks, their orbits were lowered like 50 miles, not 50 miles, yeah, 50 miles. I think they're 550 miles up, and they lowered them to 400 miles. And that made a big difference in how many you see, because they're going to be more into the Earth's shadow. See, there's the Big Dipper. There's this Starlink for you, zipping by. Now, when you're doing astronomy and low light, low photography, f2.8, you think f2.8 is fast, and it is, but it's not as fast as f1.8. You get double the light with f1.8. So you can see dimmer stars and even dimmer starlinks. I noticed that they come in groups. They come in groups, and then there's a pause, and you get onesies and twosies, and you get a group again. And they all seem to go at all different angles. They're like spinning an invisible web around the Earth. Now, in this picture, since I'm looking north towards the Big Dipper, west is towards my left side and your left side. And east, that was the airplane that just flew by. East is to your, I think I saw a meteor too. And east is towards your right. South would be up and over and back your head. So the sun had just set in the west. Some starlings come out of the west going east, and they disappear before they get to the right-hand side of the screen. I see that a lot. Those must be in lower Earth orbit, and they're going to the Earth's shadow quicker, while others make it all the way to the right side of the screen. What worries me is how come some of them are dim on the left side of the screen, and they're bright on the right side of the screen. So they must have complicated orbits. Now they look like cubes. I don't know if they're spinning. So if they're not spinning, that means when the sun hits that size of the cube, the light isn't shining in your direction. So I think they have to be spinning. And they do have fuel on them, and they can change their orbits and positions and stuff. So what you should do is you should count how many of these transient phenomena you see. So I'm watching the video a couple times over. I'm going to put my results below. But how many did you see? Did I miss something? I could have missed something. So the ecology of the sky had changed from those Starlink and just meteors and stuff like that to Starlink, and this is in April 2026. But if you look at stuff I did in 2025 and maybe 2024, the sky was littered with these things for hours, all night. Crazy. So by lowering the orbits of all the Starlink, they're in the Earth's shadow more. There seems to be less of them. But that's because you can't see them. It doesn't mean they're not there. Now, when they lower the Starlink orbits, that means they're going to get more friction from the air because the lower you go, the denser it is, and that's going to shorten their lives. I haven't noticed an uptick in them like from the Chinese satellites. They're launching their Starlink. You know, it's so hard to get good information about what China's doing in outer space. All I'm saying is this is just an hour and a half one night at the end of April, and these are all the things I saw. Now remember, this is like 5x fast forward. It's a time lapse. So you could see them move by eye, but when there's 3 of them around, it's hard to notice what's happening. And depending on sky glow, some of the dimmer ones you can't see. The night vision cuts through the sky glow because it uses infrared rays. So I'm also going to use a 28mm f1.8. I'm going to alternate between those two. Now some nights will be boring and you won't see those nights where nothing happens. I'm only going to show you nights where I think something's happening. And in the summer, maybe because of the way the Earth's orbit is, a lot of them may be in the shadow and there may be a lot of quiet nights, but that remains to be seen.